Hi class, this is chapter 7 part 6 video and the last video of talking about more practice questions on this chapter. Let's look at this one on interest rate parity on slide page 58. Assume that the interest rate in the home country of currency X is much higher than the US interest rate. According to interest rate parity, the forward rate of currency X should exhibit a discount, premium, or zero, and should equal its spot rate when it's zero. Option D is saying that it should exhibit a premium and should be zero, and it should equal to its spot rate. Okay, so let's think about this question. Take a few seconds to think about this question and discuss the solution later. Alright, so if you have already had an answer in your mind, let's look at the next slide. Otherwise, you can pause the video and think more. Okay, so the right answer here should be option A. It should exhibit a discount because here IH minus IF, which is also equivalent to P, is smaller than zero. Okay, our home country here is still US. US interest rate is lower than the foreign interest rate of the currency X. Okay, so our P is also smaller than zero. Okay, so we save the forward rate exhibit a discount. Next question. If the interest rate is higher in the United States than in the United Kingdom, and if the forward rate of the British pound in US dollar is the same as the pound spot rate, okay, then A, US investors could possibly benefit from covered interest arbitrage. B, British investors could possibly benefit from covered interest arbitrage. C, neither US nor British investors could benefit from covered interest arbitrage. D, US investors could possibly benefit from a covered arbitrage, and British investors could possibly benefit from covered interest rate arbitrage. So D is a combination of A and B. Okay, and C is a rejection of A and B. Again, I'll leave you a few seconds. You can also pause the video, and let's think about this question. Okay, if you're ready, let's look at the next slide and discuss the answer here. Okay, so because here interest rate is higher in US than UK, okay, so our IH minus IF, the home interest rate minus the home interest rate in the United States minus the foreign interest rate in UK should be positive, right? P should be positive. P does not, excuse me, IH minus IF should be positive, should be larger than 0. How about P? Okay, it does not necessarily equal to IH and minus IF because we didn't say it's IRP here. Okay. However, we know if the forward rate of the British pound in US dollars is the same as the pound spot rate, meaning F, the forward rate, is the same as spot rate. Okay, remember P equals to F minus S over S, which is the same as F over S minus 1. Okay, and because F is the same as S, okay, P becomes 0. Okay, let me write an alternative equation here that P is also F minus S over S. Okay, that's why we say P is F over S minus 1. Okay, and here we know F equals S. Okay, so P is actually 0. Okay, and IH, home interest rate in US, is higher than foreign interest rate UK. So IH minus F is larger than 0. So we know IH minus F is larger than P. Okay, we don't have an interest rate parity here. US investors can definitely not US investors, British investors can definitely benefit from the covered interest arbitrage, okay, because there is a higher interest rate in US. Okay, and this point where P is smaller than IH minus IF, it is to the left-hand side or above the IRP line. UK investors could earn more if investing in US. Okay, at the same time, US investors could also earn more if they invest domestically in US. Okay, so investors from both countries can make more money if they invest in US compared to investing in UK. Okay, it's just for US investors, they only need to invest domestically. For UK investors, they could possibly benefit from covered interest arbitrage. Next question. If the interest rate is lower in the United States than in the United Kingdom, and if the forward rate of the British pound is the same as its spot rate, which investors from which country can benefit from covered interest arbitrage? Okay, so I'll give you another 10 or 30 seconds so you can think about this question, and we'll discuss the solution soon. Okay, so if you are ready for the answer, for looking at the answer, let's look at the next slide. This question is very similar to the last one. It's just here that's the IH, the home interest rate in the United States, is now lower compared to the foreign interest rate, IF. Okay, so IH minus IF becomes smaller than 0. But at the same time, F, the forward rate of the British pound, is still the same as its spot rate S. So again, our P forward premium equals F over S minus 1, or it equals F minus S over S. Okay, it's equivalent to 0. So we know P is larger than IH minus IF. Okay, this is below the line. You don't have, it is below the line or to the right-hand side of the line, okay, where P is larger than IH minus IF, whereas in the last case, it was above the line, okay. Investors can make more money if invest in UK, where there's a higher interest rate. Okay, so here, US investors could possibly benefit more from covered interest arbitrage. Whereas British investors, they should just invest domestically in UK. Okay, so next question. You have 1 million to invest, and the current spot rate of pound is $1.3. 90-day forward rate of pound is $1.27. 3-month deposit rate in US is 4%. 3-month deposit rate in Great Britain is 5%. If you use covered interest arbitrage for 90-day investment, what will be the amount of US dollars you will have after 90 days? Okay, so we know S, we know the initial capital, we know F, 90-day F, we know the interest rate in IH in United States, we know I foreign in Great Britain. Okay, if we want covered interest arbitrage for a 90-day investment, how much will we have after 90 days? Again, I'll give you some time thinking about this question. You can also pause the video and we'll talk about the solution soon. All right, if you're ready, let's look at the next slide. So here, if we use covered interest arbitrage, we know that the domestic interest rate is 4%, the foreign interest rate is 5%. So if we use covered interest arbitrage, we could exchange our dollar to pound, invest in UK, and exchange it back by using the forward rate. Okay. So we use this 1 million divided by 1.3 because we first need to exchange our US dollar to pound. And we have 769,000 pounds, equivalent to $1 million. And then we use this pound, invest in Great Britain. So we have 5% interest rate for 3 months. So we use this 769,000 pounds multiplied by 1 plus 5%. So we have 807,000 pounds after 90 days. And then we use this locked forward rate, 1.27, to exchange pound back to US dollar. So we use 807,000 multiplied by 1.27. So we have $1,025,769.23 in the end as our ending balance. Okay, option A is what we're going to have if we use this 1 million to do this covered interest arbitrage. Okay, but is this necessarily a better choice compared to just invest in United States domestically at 4%? Even though it looks like the foreign interest rate is higher at 5%. Okay, so if we want to dig more, we can calculate the P forward rate, a forward premium, which is F over S minus 1, which is also F minus S over S. Okay, it's going to be 1.27 over 1.3 minus 1. So we have negative 0.023 as our P. There is a forward discount. And for IH minus F, we can use 4 minus 5%. So we have negative 1%, which is negative 0.01. We can see the forward discount P is smaller than the IH minus IF, the interest rate difference. So this point is actually above the line or to the left-hand side of the IRP line. Okay, if investing domestically, we can actually earn more. If we use this 1 million multiplied by 1 plus 4%, it could be 1,040,000. Next question. The spot rate of New Zealand dollar is 0.41. The forecasted spot rate a year from now is 0.43. 1 year forward rate is 0.42. Annual interest rate on New Zealand dollar is at 8%. Annual interest rate on US dollar is 9%. Given these information, the return from covered interest rate arbitrage by US investor with 500,000 to invest is how much percent? Okay, this is again similar to the last question. We only care about the return here. So let's calculate on this. Okay, you can pause the video now, and we'll discuss the solution soon. Okay, if you need more time, please pause the video. Otherwise, let's proceed to the solutions. Okay, in this case, if we're doing the covered interest arbitrage as US investors, we would have to exchange our US dollar first to New Zealand dollar using the current spot rate. Okay, and then we invest in New Zealand at the interest rate on New Zealand dollars 8%. After a year, we would exchange New Zealand dollar back to US dollar using the 1 year forward rate. Okay, so we first use our 500,000 capital, divide by the current spot rate, 0.41, so we know we can exchange 500,000 US dollar into 1,219,512 New Zealand dollars. We invest these in New Zealand. The interest rate is 8%, so we use this number multiplied by 1.08. We have 1,317,073 as the New Zealand dollars we earn after a year. And then we use this 1 year forward rate of New Zealand dollar to exchange this back to US dollar. Multiplied by 0.42, we have 553,171 US dollars as our ending balance. If we want to calculate the return or the yield, we use this ending balance, 553,000, minus the beginning balance, 500,000, and divide by the beginning balance, 500,000. So we have 10.63%. In this case, P, first of all, once we have this 10.63%, we can choose option E, the correct answer. Okay, but if we want to think more on this question, P, the forward premium or discount here is equivalent to f over s minus 1. So we can use this 0.43 over 0.41 minus 1. We have 0.024. And the IH minus F becomes the home US interest rate, 9%, minus the foreign interest rate on New Zealand dollars, 8%. So it's 1% or 0.01. So P is larger than the different interest rate difference. So in this case, the point is below the line or to the right-hand side of the IRP line. In this case, if we invest domestically, we would earn less compared to using covered interest arbitrage. If we use 500,000, just multiply by 1 plus 9%, we only have 545,000 left. Okay, so that's all the practice problems on this chapter. And from the next video, we're going to discuss next chapter.